We are live, Believe Nation. Happy Tuesday. Tuesday is my YouTube day. So Tuesday I spend the day making videos for you guys to build the channels, to get more momentum for you. So I just finished filming a whole bunch of videos. Now I'm taking a quick break. I'm going to chat with you guys and special member here. I think she's in the chat already. Welcome aboard. Let's bring her in, Anna. And then back to more YouTube stuff. So happy Tuesday. Hope you are having a great start to your week. You to Anna, who's we're gonna bring in. It's gonna be fun. Hey Angela, how's it you? Hey, it's Anna.
Hi Evan.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm excited to see you. Happy to be on here with you.
I love it. So Anna's part of my Movement Makers program. As part of that is we do an IG Live together. So what do you got? How can I help?
Well, this is a question that's been on my mind for a while that I really want to talk to you about. I think I've mentioned to you, I think I just joined Movement Makers like 2.5 months ago or something. And I have a YouTube channel. It was doing well, but I started using just the logistical stuff that you teach that somebody has to tell you. You know, I just didn't know. And I started changing some stuff on my channel and it just grew like mad past few months. So that's been fantastic. And I sell courses and membership. And so it's driven sales and I've just had a really fabulous couple of months. So I would have asked you this 2 months ago, but now I really got to ask you about priorities for scale. This is scaling without me. I can't even keep up with some of the aspects of what's growing. And I have to make some decisions about where I should be putting my energy. And I can't think of anybody better to ask.
All right. Well, let's go. What are the options? How can I help?
Well, so I am about 1,300 subscribers away from my 100,000 thing on YouTube. That's exciting. And so one option is to just keep going for it on YouTube. That's been my strong suit for a while. And it's really natural for me to do. I just went up to 2 videos a week after joining Movement Makers, and that was really successful. So I could do more videos. I could do more courses. I have so many things I want to do, but I can't do them all at the same time. I have about 4 courses I'd like to release. I have 5 out. I have 4 I'd like to do this year. I have a book. It's going to be great. And it's really important for me to do the book because it's the manifesto. I teach a pretty radical approach about how to heal childhood trauma. And it's not like anything else out there. And that's, you know, it needs a book. And I want to be out talking on stages. That's like really where I come alive. So the book I think will help me with that, but it just keeps getting pushed to the back of the queue. So speaking, workshops, dealing with big groups of people, that's kind of where my energy goes. I do a lot for my membership, I do group coaching online. I do some individual coaching, but I have like 60 people on my wait list for that. And I have a conflict because coaching one-on-one takes so much time and I'm trying to produce other things. So I need some help deciding like what is the priority and what should I hire other people to help with.
What does your team look like right now?
I have a full-time marketing guy and he handles the back end, all the integration and making sure the automations work. He's doing a great job. I have a guy who's handling Facebook ads and that's still at a pretty small scale and we'll see what happens now with the changes at Facebook, but it's successful, it's going well. And I have a guy who does my website, which needs an overhaul with all this sort of blossoming going on. So he's a contractor. I really would like to hire a person who's answers my mail. I have about 500 emails a day, and then the comments on YouTube. I just can't keep up with it. So I want somebody to handle that, but that's a big, learning curve to get to where somebody can speak for you on that stuff, and then maybe handle my Instagram. I suck at Instagram. I'm barely here,
Who's helping you with YouTube? Are you?
Just me. Yeah, okay. I do all that.
So this is a step up. I wouldn't, if I'm you, I am you. I mean, I was going to do the same thing. I have YouTube channels. I have 4 books. I have courses. I have membership. I have speaking gigs, all of it. It's like me rewind a couple of years, right? The answer is to do everything, but only the things that you're great at. So should you keep going on YouTube? Yes. Because once you pass 100K, you're getting momentum. Like you're already feeling the momentum. You've had the channel for a little bit. It wasn't growing. And then I saw the awesome chart you put into Movement Makers. Is like met Evan in Puerto Rico and like didn't really listen. And then I took off, right? So it's like you have momentum. And and once I crossed 100,000 on my main channel, it just started blowing up. But you should not be doing the editing. You should be doing, you should be in front of the camera, and then like take that equivalent to every project that you're doing. So you should be writing the book, but you should not be doing all of the proofreading and the cover design and the like, all of the, to get this to happen is a project. Like that's a big thing. And if you're doing everything, it means you're not, one, it's not what you're great at, and two, it means all your other projects slow down. So you need to hire a video editor. You have to. You can keep going on YouTube. You'll start making more money even just off of advertising from YouTube. But then add your course sales, add whatever, you know, whatever else you're selling on top of it. Comments. I hired somebody to take care of my comments, but they don't. Here's the trick: they're responding from the account, but they always put their name at the end. So right now, my main guy's name is Don, and so he puts Don at the end. That's his like.
I know Don. Yeah.
His real name is something else, but he likes to be called Don. Don. He's like, does that sound weird for put in the comments? Like, hey, if that's what you want to be called, you know, not negative, then
it's YouTube.
Put Don. So he puts Don at the end, and there are some. So we have a couple rules. One, you know, if it's something super negative or a suggestion, I want to see it. Like, save it for me. If it's a question that you don't know how to answer, save it for me. But most of the comments that you get, and I mean, I haven't been on your channel looking at all the comments, but most of the comments are just praise or basic things that with a little bit of training, they could do. And you just need somebody to be responsive, because you're not going to respond. Like a response from the team is better than no response at all, and it helps grow the channel. So I would look at, this is a classic scaling problem for entrepreneurs. You either do one thing and do the whole thing yourself, or you do multiple things, focusing on what you're a genius at, and then have the team take care of everything else. So you should definitely, if I'm you, I would double down on YouTube. Like I would try to go to 3 videos a week, but that's not possible with the current infrastructure. I went from 1 video a week doing everything myself to a video a day by hiring an editor. And that just lets everything else scale up faster. So instead of like, do I do YouTube or do I do my book or do I do my courses? It's like all of it, more, but you're doing less in all those projects. You're just doing the thing that you're a genius at.
Yeah, cool. I have a lucky thing. I happen to own a video company. I don't use it for my YouTube work.
Okay.
But I have an easy way to bring in help. I just have to start paying for it.
But, you know, hopefully now at some point YouTube, you know, I don't know how much you're making in revenue from YouTube, but YouTube starts paying, unlike Instagram or other platforms, YouTube pays you and will keep paying you. And the stuff that you talk about is evergreen stuff. Like in 5 years, your strategies are still applicable. It's not just a 2020 thing you're doing, like healing child. And unfortunately, people will still need to heal from the childhood traumas in 5 years, right? It's not like you're on some just trend here. So that'll continue to grow and give you revenue to pay for team. It may not even mean a full-time person, right? Maybe it's a part-time person.
Oh yeah, video, I wouldn't need that much. Honestly, the hardest demand of it is it would require me to make several videos at the same time. And I've been running by the skin of my teeth for a long time now. You know? Gotta get a video out at 11 and I'm up at 6 getting it together.
But it's faster. It's faster.
Yes.
Like the time you make 1 video, you could make 4 more videos in that same amount of time.
Yes.
So you just need to batch your day. And that works for everything, for courses, for books. If you're only giving yourself 45 minutes a day to write on your book, like it takes you 40 minutes just to remember what you're doing from yesterday to get back into the flow of what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's bigger chunks of time.
Yeah.
And better organization with the team. So you can film once a week. If you film once a week for half a day, you have a video every day going up.
You're right. I could. I have a style that's a little different than some people, including you, as I write them all. I work on a teleprompter, which is almost imperceptible. Now everybody knows, you know. But I get it on there and then I riff on it a little bit. But I just, I'm just like reading to my laptop. So the writing, each thought leadership video is maybe about 3 hours of writing. So it takes some thought, and doing a week's worth of they don't all have to be thought leadership. I started doing Q&A videos once a week and they've been great. They've been really successful. And all I do is prepare the questions, think a little bit about what I'm going to say, and then go off. So that's been good. I've been really paying attention to what you teach about like different types of videos you can do and what you can bring in. And now that I have a ton of videos, I can start doing mashups, which I can hand off to the editor, which would be nice.
And it also forces the like if you say, hey, when I make thought leadership videos, it takes me 3 hours of writing, but when I do a Q&A video, it takes me almost nothing, and they perform equally well.
Not equally, but okay. Like I had a thought leadership video when I first got into Movement Makers, and in 2 months it's had like 250,000 views. The Q&As, maybe right now 4,000 a week. You know, it's good, but yeah.
But I think it's worth the experiment to craft the first 3 sentences, like use a template from Observe, craft, and then go story and advice, and just riff off story and advice.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that, because I think I can do it. I do group coaching calls and people ask me a question and these things are just sort of going off into space. And I can't share them publicly because they're on Zoom. It's poor quality, but also their faces are on it. It's private. But it's easy for me to riff for as long as you like about any of this. I've had my head around it for so long. So I think I can do that. I think I'll make that my third type of video.
Well, even potentially replacing the first, like it's worth an experiment. Oh, you're cutting out. You still there?
Oh, yeah, I am. I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to cut down that. I don't think you need 3 hours of prep. I think you should prep, at least as an experiment, like prove at it, right? Don't just like abandon the whole strategy, but as an experiment.
I will.
I'm going to prep 15 minutes to get my first 3 sentences.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put it down. And then I would have your first 3 sentences on the teleprompter, and then a bullet of just what the story is.
Yeah.
Your story, your client's story, whatever, and then just tell the story without reading it, and then let the advice flow naturally.
Yeah. Okay, I will do that. And I'm gonna, in Movement Makers, when we meet again, I'll let you know how it went, because I may be being over attached, but here's the reason my thought leadership videos that are written have incredible shelf life. They'll come back to life like a year later and just go boom, and they're really serving me. But they're also, you can take them and you can lay them right into a blog post as is, with a little bit of cleanup of the language, the transcript, and it's a script. You can also lay it into a book. It's like just going to like lay down into a book. So the writing is going somewhere. But what a lot of people tell me, so I talk to people about brain dysregulation. So people who had trauma, it can be hard for them to pay attention. A lot of stuff that looks like ADHD is really this dysregulation, where focus is difficult, especially under stress. And so I teach people strategies to get their brain just kind of back grooved in. When you're doing that, you can do many other things, like talk to a therapist or write a symphony or whatever it is that you are meant to do. And I coach people all the way up to bringing their gifts into the world, not just feeling better for the sake of feeling better. And I have a countercultural message, which is that all this talking about the past could be like working against your healing. It was for me. And so a lot of people relate to that, not everybody. So I've been very careful about how I say that, so that I'm not like denigrating all the good people who are working with people in the different ways that they do. And now I have even sponsorships with, online therapy and things. So, I want to support all of that. When I shoot my mouth off, I can be very powerful. And you're the one who teaches this about lead with a powerful opinion. Yeah. That's really what did it for me. That's what set me free.
Yeah.
And made me successful. But sometimes I say stuff,
I mean, I would rather you say stuff and then edit or stuff and then address the hedge, which is also in here. Like address the hedge is like, hey, I don't want you to think that I'm
Oh yeah.
therapists are not worth it,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
but you address the hedge later on.
Yeah.
What really matters on YouTube, like one, it doesn't surprise me that your videos have long shelf life and that in 6 months continue to pop because of the nature of what you're talking about, that it still is relevant. It's not just some newsworthy thing. And it's good, deep content. It's not just like a 4-minute puff piece. Just make you feel good. You're actually giving the strategies for how to fix it.
There's science, there's strategy, there's very personal dirty laundry. You know, it took a lot of courage for me to get here, and it's the most meaningful thing I've ever done. But I was going to tell you another thing that people say is, you know, people who suffer with dysregulation and listening, they love my voice. Like nobody's ever told me that before. I have an okay voice. And my kids think this is hilarious, you know, but people say they just put on my videos to listen to me and go to sleep. And I speak like this. I'm energetic when I talk. It's not that, but I think what it is that I speak coherently. I've actually planned out the structure of the paragraph because it's written, and that's helping people. And so I just have a fear, but I have to test it. I have a fear, like if I just wing it, it's going to be dysregulating for people, and it won't have that value.
But all of this is winging it.
Yes.
And you sound great.
Thank you. Thanks.
And often, like if you're doing Q&A and when you go on podcasts and you're being a guest, a lot of times winging it, and you just rely on your deep well of knowledge to know that you have answers. It's at least worth the test. So I would play with what really matters for YouTube is getting that first minute down. If you can get people to stick around for the first minute, they'll watch you'd have to do something catastrophic for them to tail off. So if you're nailing your first 3 sentences and then you're telling me a great story, you've hooked me. And I'll likely stick to watch the whole thing. You'll just see people slowly leaving, which is normal. If you see a big drop at some point, like halfway through the video, that's worth looking back to say, okay, what did I do there? Oh, I stumbled on my words, I wasn't super clear or whatever. But I honestly don't think that's going to happen.
No.
So I'd really it's worth 7 videos to play with.
7, okay.
7 it's like, Evan, all 7 underperformed. Your advice sucked. Like, okay. Hey, we tried.
Well, they can't all be blockbusters, but it's worth it for a little development of the channel and of my skills and.
Well, also time. If you can take that from 3 hours prep to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And that lets you go daily on your channel of twice a week. I think that pays off in a huge, huge, huge way for you. The other thing that I would honestly play with, I wonder if you could have a go to sleep series.
Yeah.
Like, talk to me about that. How much do you believe in sleep or evening routine or ritual to healing trauma?
It's really important. And in addition to sleep, just calming down, re-regulating. So having a voice, you know, you have a little kid, right?
Yeah. 11.
Yeah. And so you know how sometimes the way you talk to them, you can kind of help them regulate again through your voice. And so that was an idea I had that well, for one thing, I could just take every video I have and release the recording, but I was thinking about that, like guided sort of meditations, or I was going to call it guided relaxation, because it's not necessarily meditation. It's just like, you know, sort of some calming talk. Yeah.
I would look up on YouTube what the titles are, like guided relaxation to heal trauma or something like that. And then the difference is you're now making videos with that in mind. Like your regular videos, you're trying to be more energetic, you're trying to do thought leadership, and people are just naturally listening to it to fall asleep because they love your voice and the message, and that calms them down. But because in your videos is also it's calming, you know, you're like not raising doom and gloom and this is over, and like it's calming, it's reassuring, caring, it's heartfelt, even though and yes, there are strategies and there's science behind it. It's not meant to be a fall asleep video, but if you now switch it to say, no, I'm going to make a once a week fall asleep video to heal trauma, it'll change. It'll still have caring. It'll still have heartfelt. It may not have scientific numbers and data and all that in it.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine if you could now help people who are dealing with all this trauma and stress in their life and everything now actually get a good night's sleep, and what that does for their health and their well-being, mindset, and their next day, because that all sleep really poorly the next day is going to be super hard to show up as your best self. The value that you could really bring people. I would definitely, I do a 7-video test on that too. Of you like, what do people need to hear to fall asleep, and how long is that? A 20-minute video? Is that a 30-minute video? A 10-minute video to help people calm down, relax, and ultimately fall asleep? And how that changes. Like, maybe at the start is okay, like take 5 deep breaths in and close your eyes and rest your head on the pillow and remind yourself that like whatever, I'm just riffing, right? But whatever you would do to try to help somebody fall asleep, I think that could be a great gift to people.
I can think of probably 100 relaxing videos to help talk people through. There's things, you know, when you start doing this, I know this happened for you, Evan, where you begin thinking you're here to talk about one thing, and it keeps kind of growing into what it's really about.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to help people like persevere and have faith in themselves and know that we heal not just to feel better like a pill, you know, it's so that you can become your real self and bring your gifts. And much to my surprise, when people hear that, I can almost feel them like drawing into the video. And when I'm live with people, it's the most powerful thing I do. And the trauma is almost like a red herring, a gateway drug, you know. It's been really positive, and I really enjoy talking about it. It's energizing, and I would like the chance to talk more freely about that. Off script.
I mean, you have to give yourself permission to do it.
No, I love YouTube. It's the best invention there ever was in human history, I think.
Well, I like it. I'm a fan. I mean, I think it'll be fun to see how people find you. I think if you created your sleep series, some people might find you just for that. Somebody search how to sleep better when you have trauma, and they happen to find your video, and then they find your thought leadership content too about, oh, there's also strategies that I can use, that I can heal myself, that it's not just about, I thought I was coming for sleep, right? So I think as long as it's still serving the same audience, which I think it does, I think that could be a really cool series for your channel. We've done it on our channel. We have an affirmations for success series.
Oh, yeah. And you keep it on the same channel?
Because it's the same audience, right?
Okay.
If it's a different audience, or if you're going more than once a day, you're not there yet. If you are saying, Evan, I can make 7 thought leadership videos a week, then I would say, you know what? Awesome, do it, and create a separate channel for the sleep series.
Okay.
But you're not there yet.
Not yet.
So I would keep them, as long as it's the same audience. It's still the same audience. It's still people who are dealing with trauma and how to overcome it. This is a guided meditation or guided relaxation to help you rest and relax. I'm not giving you strategies, but I'm giving you an ultimate strategy, which is, hey, if you can rest and relax, that's a good chunk of your healing, so that you give your body time to just recover from everything going on, right? A stressed out, low sleep mind is just going to make that trauma so much worse. Plus the thought leadership videos where, hey, you can also do these specific strategies to help you overcome. It's always a good thing to pay attention to, right? Like if people are already telling you, I fall asleep to your videos, without you even designing them for that, like I'm actually designed for that. Again, as long as you believe that it's part of your mantra, your process, that you believe in it, you think that having a great night's sleep is helpful to healing, then yeah, I think that series is, let's take your channel up even higher. Let's get you the gold button. We got to get you one of these. We got to get the gold one. Hey, that's
I know. I'm so into it.
And then that's everything else, right? Like that gives you revenue, that gives you awareness, that gives you signups, that gives you course sales, that gives you book sales, but all wrapped still within the mission of, hey, we're trying to do something important. We're trying to, I mean, how many people suffer from childhood trauma? I mean,
a lot, about 15%.
Well, and that's at least double, at least from people who don't even know that they're still repeating their childhood.
And then add COVID and it doubles again. So
like those are just the people who recognize that they are suffering from it, as opposed to, I think it's at least half who hasn't struggled through some kind of childhood trauma,
Yeah.
still as an adult, decades later, reliving subconsciously that same program.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of it is teaching about reconnecting with people. That's
Mhm.
the part that gets injured. And learning, just being able to center your mind, and it's stuff that everybody wants to be better at. So there is a growth potential there. And hey, real quick, Instagram Live, you've been exhorting us in Movement Makers to do more of that. Would
Mhm.
you add that into my mix?
I would when you hire your team.
Okay, good.
Turn it into videos too. Like I want you to do coaching. I think you would crush coaching.
I do it, but the wait list is just a mile long. I can't do it all.
But
I've now hired sub coaches.
live coaching for free to help
Oh,
people,
yeah.
as well as to build your
Oh, I see what you're saying.
and then this is super common. So if you've got a big wait list of people who want coaching from you, you just keep increasing your coaching pricing.
Yeah.
Now it's $300 an hour. Now it's $400 an hour. Now it's $500 an hour. Like, I don't know what you're at, but I mean, you just keep raising the prices until supply equals demand. And then you have the free stuff to build an even bigger awareness.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to talk to the camera,
Yeah.
like, there's another thing to actually help somebody through a problem.
Yeah. So like Instagram Live, where it's very, very public. I have calls where like 100 or more people come on and I take coaching questions, but a very public call would be an audience builder. Yeah. Okay.
They know it's public and it's going to be like part of the deal, right? It's public. We're going to, if they don't want to go public, not everybody's going to want to go public. No. And that's fine. There's my course. There's my own coaching that you can hire me for $800 an hour. There's whatever. But some people say, this is my chance to talk to Anna one-on-one and get access to her. I'll share anything. Like, look at the people who go on the talk shows, Jerry Springer and all those talk shows, sharing like everything. Some people are just, this is their only shot to get access to you and to get the access to anybody. And so they're happy to make, that's part of the arrangement, is it's public. You will get people who for sure will want to do it. And then you turn into a YouTube video. Okay.
All right.
And the beautiful part about that is, I don't know how long a session is. You know, if you're doing a 25-minute session, it's only 25 minutes. There's no prep work. You don't need to know anything about them.
Oh yeah, I could do it in my sleep. Yeah,
They show up, you say, hey, what's going on? How can I help?
Yeah. So I think I can add that soon. I can get my editor, Gabe, to come in and take over the video for me. And then I can start writing my stuff in advance. But I won't be writing as much because I'm going to wing it more. Okay, I know what to do, Evan. Thank you. I knew I needed to talk to you.
You're going to crush it. You're going to crush it. I mean, I think you've got such a great mission. You're such a beautiful soul. You're out there trying to help. And you've already built, the tools, and the structure, like, how to help people. It's not like you're trying to figure out your methodology still and you're not quite sure how to help. You've got all that stuff. So that's why with just like little tweaks to your YouTube channel, things blow up, right? Because you have so much to work with. You just maybe pieces not quite fitting yet.
Yeah.
This is the next step. Like, come back in 6 months and it's going to be crazy.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You're so generous. You know exactly what I'm trying to learn, and you just share it, and I can, I'm just really grateful to you. I appreciate it.
What's our homework? We're gonna make how many videos a week on YouTube and bring Gabe in? Come on, Gabe.
I know. Gabe's going to come in and start doing the shooting and the editing for me, which means they're going to look better too. And he's going to light this place. and I'm going to start adding, I'm going to make 7 videos where I wing it. And if it goes well, I will boost up. I'm at 2 videos a week. So I'll stick with those kinds. And I will add,
we're still planning our 3 sentences at the beginning. So
okay. Yes. Got it. Yes.
First 3 sentences.
Yeah.
Bullet point for just what the is, so you get reminded.
Yeah. I like to add the ending too. Where am I going to point you to?
Yes.
I like to. Yeah.
15
and bullet points. So we'll
minutes.
do that. We'll do that. And I'm going to get Gabe in here, and then I'm going to make the job description for my communications and answering person to take, because literally it would take all day for me to answer all my mail and comments and start treating everybody right in that respect. And with my free time, I'm gonna release my connection course, which is actually coming out later this week. It's a drip, you know, so it's just coming out, announcing
Mhm.
it on my YouTube live Thursday. And then I'm gonna work on the book. And I'm really hoping COVID lightens up because I'm gonna be in London in July and I'm planning to do an event, but we'll see, right?
We need 7 sleep
Yeah.
series videos.
Okay, sleep series, yes.
And that could be, you don't have to be on camera. That could just be because they're sleeping. You could just show a picture or something. Like you don't have to light it or anything. You just need good audio.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and stick on YouTube with
Still on YouTube. Yeah, yeah, but it could just be a picture or something. The whole idea is they're not watching you. They're trying to sleep.
oh cool. Yeah, okay. All right.
That's
So yes,
sleep series videos.
sleep unscripted. So there's 7 and 7.
Yeah. And,
Higher and higher. 2 hires and
and you,
7 and 7.
15 minutes. You're doing 15 minutes of prep instead of 3 hours for video.
Hmm.
For those 7, I just gave you 2 hours and 45 minutes to work on your sleep series.
Again and again, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
come report back. And I'm curious. I'd love to see the data. I'd love to see the result. I'd love to see
Okay.
how do you feel about it?
Okay.
Because did it feel right? Does it feel good after
Yeah.
7? Feel like there's something here, or I don't know, I'm not into it. Either way, it's awesome. And then we can work with it. Like if the sleep series feels good but isn't quite taking off yet, we can make some tweaks to it to make it better. But I think you're really onto something, and I'm just super pumped that your message is getting out
Thank
there.
you. Thank you. All right. Well, I'll see you in Movement Makers.
All right, thank you,
All
Anna.
right. Bye.
Much love.
You too.